box office starts going downhill.
Yeah.
But the marketing was so on point with both of them, too, because they knew what they had. And like you mentioned, you don't even remember hearing anything about it until it was about to come out. So I guess like TV, commercial, stuff like that, trailers, early trailers or anything, marketing was just not big for two. Like after one, they had something, but they just didn't market it well enough to really carry on the box office that should have been with it. Because it definitely should have climbed from, I know 20 million is a hard to get it back, especially back then, but still, when you're hitting 30 million out of a $2 million budget, you should still carry that somewhat.
You want to catch that magic, and I think Three Ninjas came out at the perfect time to catch that magic. Home Alone was nothing but 2 years old at that point.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles movie had just crushed.
Yeah.
So I think, you can look at the second one and the however you want to order them, Knuckle Up or Kickback, and they are pale in comparison. They're not great, especially Kickback is jarring. That this is your just good. This is Rocky.
Right.
The fight scenes are great in Kickback, and the fight scenes are great in Knuckle Up. Truly, they're just bad movies. The film of the Knuckle Up made I only saw the poster in video release, so I never saw it at the theaters.
Yeah.
I don't know if it even came to theaters. I don't think it did much in the theaters. It did $400,000.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that's like on a very limited release, and they're hoping to make all their money on video rentals.
Yeah.
Like most movies were at this time. So, and think about that for Three Ninjas. Released and made $29 million in theaters. It must have crushed on the home market, right?
It's got to be, yeah.
Oh,
I would think so, yeah.
I supplied $2 million of it.
Yeah.
By renting it.
That's, for video sales, rentals, and everything, too. Yeah, that's got to be huge, too, with what it carried, it continued to carry as far as everything that it belonged to. But,
Knuckle Up, I know we're talking about the original great movie, Three Ninjas, but Knuckle Up was nominated for Worst Sequel and the sequel nobody was clamoring for at the 1995 Stinker's Bad Movie Awards. But it lost. Marcus, 1995, if you had to guess who won the awards for sequel no one wanted and worst sequel, could you make a guess in 1995 what those might be?
Sequel no one wanted?
Yeah.
1995?
If you guess, I'll tell you what it got. I think of bad sequels that maybe you enjoyed as a kid, but critics probably didn't.
Right. All I can think of would be maybe Karate Kid 3.
That is a good one. I think Karate Kid 3 may have been a touch after 95.
Okay.
The sequel, the worst sequel.
Major League Back to the Minors.
I don't think they do that. Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Oh, yeah. Man, come on. What? Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Come on, the rhino gives birth to him.
Yeah.
Now, this is really going to get you going. The sequel no one was clamoring for. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Wow.
I loved both of those movies.
I love all the Halloween. Yeah. No.
That's the Paul Rudd one, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe not
amazing.
Well,
yeah, because it was H2O then that one, right? Or
maybe H2O came after. Because I remember seeing H2O.
No, I think you're right. H2O came after. H2O came after, yeah.
So those are the sequels. They're not who we're here to talk about, but the video game is very difficult. Yeah. I agree. The 95 Stinker Bad Movie Awards, terrible. I think Knuckle Up is worth a watch because it's very interesting. And the story I have with it, I think a lot of kids probably did. I'm in the movie store looking at, Brawl Brothers or whatever game. Right. I turn around. These are my childhood heroes on a poster for a new movie coming out that was actually shot 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, let's do something with it. Shit. So, Three Ninjas. Shot in California, as you can imagine. The kids... I don't know what their audition experience was. As I said, Michael Trenner didn't do anything else. Puts it down. Chad Powers, acted for a while, but he didn't go on to do much. Max Elliott Slade, he did quite a few movies. He was in Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. I saw young James Lovell. Yeah.
And he did, he was in Parent Trap.
Yeah, Parenthood.
Parenthood. Thank you. Very different movie.
Yeah.
And he's not in the business anymore, but he's. I guess he's the only one who made a go of acting.
Yeah, nobody else is listed with any other credits that I saw.
Of the 3 kids.
Yeah, Chad Powers is now a defensive back coach for his old high school.
Hell yeah, Chad.
Yeah, hey, take that, yeah.
You know what? I want to go enroll 21 Jump Street style.
Right.
Play defensive back.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that Chad isn't the head coach.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to be.
Maybe he just wants to be defensive back. Yeah, that's his passion right there, probably.
I wonder if he played in high school.
I think he did play because he played in college as well. He played, it looks like a private college since it was a religious school. I saw that it was like a Catholic school or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
But he played in college, yeah.
So, we have these 3 kids. Surround them with maybe not legendary actors, but man, does every actor in this movie not just go for it.
They do. They put their heart out in it. And I mean, again, Victor Wong, you're gonna get 100% from Victor.
You are gonna get 100%. Yeah. And while we're talking about Victor, let's just touch on him because this motherfucker is an amazing story.
I mean, we hit on him in Tremors, of course, too. Did. But I just think like the catalog is just so amazing that you can't just. Wong was born in 1927 and acted pretty much his whole life. I mean,
after the JFK assassination, he wanted to be a journalist, so he became a journalist, and he eventually got an on-air role from 68 to 74, and then he got Bell's palsy, which is why his eyes are like they are in the movie. Also, what good old JR has, the famous wrestling announcer, suffered from Bell's palsy as well. I mean, he's done everything. He was a legend on Broadway and American theater, like a well-respected actor, and eventually he just sort of, I don't know if it says more about Hollywood, that he just was sort of typecast as this wise old Asian man.
Right.
Which, of the time,
I can see that definitely happening.
Absolutely. And, of course, it happens in Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah. Of course, Three Ninjas. Even the, always looking for a deal in Tremors. Forgot his name. Whatever his name wasn't. But he stayed with Three Ninjas for a long time because why the hell not?
Yeah. If you got, especially, I mean, I'm sure they signed him on right after 1 was a hit.
Yeah.
And they probably put him under contract, too. Okay, I am sure that they knew that they were going to make, we got enough in the box office to say we can make 3 more or 2 more of these at least. Was he in the last one, the Hogan one, too? Was he in all of them?
I'll tell you in 3.
Yeah, he was. High Noon Mega Mountain. Yep. That was his final film role.
Oh, man. Poor guy. But I mean, amazing. He never stopped working. He really didn't. And I'm 99% positive. Let me just confirm this. That, like myself, Victor Wong is a Chicago Second City alumnus.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last time.
Victor Wong joined the Second City troupe, and here's this guy. You know what? I'm gonna be in Chicago. I'm gonna be doing some comedy. Why don't I just stay with Langston Hughes? He did San Francisco under Mark Rothko. He trained there and earned a master's degree at the Art Institute of San Francisco. I mean, what a life this guy has. And you watch him in this movie, and he's certainly fun. He's certainly lovable.
Yeah.
He certainly has a lot of stunt doubles.
Yeah.
But he's just great. And it's amazing he doesn't get, more... I don't know. No one ever talks about Victor Wong.
No one does. It's just these character actors that were kind of pigeonholed into these characters. Whatever had we loved them as kids, but now of course times change, and you look back and you see like, oh man, that's kind of a farce as far as what they were doing. They could have done so much more. We know that they had it in them, and at that time, I'm sure Wong was just like, yeah, if I can get work, I'll do it, and good for him for getting it. But you see these great roles that people play, whether it's, you know, the henchman in Die Hard, who I always look at, who eats the candy bar, who's in everything. Yeah, he's in everything, and it's just like that's the same kind of thing too.
It's him.
It's just those sad kind of things where you see guys Wong on Broadway. I mean, he could have done like a good serious role too, but
yeah, he never got there. I wish there was a book. I wish he had written a book, because I bet it would be fascinating.
I bet you do. Yeah,
traversed everything in the entertainment world. And the other, there's not a lot of work done by the other cast members. A lot of soap opera actor, the dad and mom. The mom is continuing to work as a television actor. Rand Kingsley Snyder didn't do much.
No, he didn't. Not a lot. I think the other guy who did the most was Fester.
Wait. Oh,
Laberto. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the nerdy sidekick also had done a lot.
Oh yeah,
he done a lot of TV.
You talking about the second hand to Snyder?
Yeah. But I mean, he was doing stuff. He's still working today,
right?
But what did he do? He does voiceover work for video games now. He did work on Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, one of the greatest games of all time.
I'd love to get in on something like that, a VO.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, 2019, The Wolf. So whoever the Wolf is, the character.
Yeah, he was the bad guy. Yeah. Just get on the two biggest franchises and you're set right there.
This guy. And, I mean, he's in movies, he still does voice actors, and he played a doctor in Days of Our Lives from 1996 to 2007. Man, they really went into the soap operas for these guys.
Yeah, Fester was Chainsaw in Summer School. That's where I was like trying to remember him from, and it's like, yes, that's where I remember him from. Yeah,
and the dudes, the thugs that were with Liberto. Mm-hmm. One was a cameraman.
Yeah. The other one was a camera guy.
Yeah, and then the other guy, Marcus, he'd done some stints on Baywatch and not much else after that.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Like, this movie sits probably high on these people's resume, and I don't know. It's just like they don't really talk about it.
Well, there was a lot of good movies that came out in '92.
Yes,
but you
that's true.
You cluster that with, you know, the demographic that the movie's going for, and Three Ninjas had to be, you know, probably the highest for that, of course, you know, demographic as far as what kind of movie it was shooting for to be. It was that movie, and it probably excelled for '92 as far as any other films that came out like it. And I can't recall which ones, but you would think, like, watching this movie and then doing the research and seeing these guys, you think, man, and I thought, like, these guys just knocked it out of the park on their first one.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about being, you know, any of those kids and doing this and thinking, I get to be in a movie that's fun, but then it's a hit. Yeah. It's a big hit. And at that same time, now, I was watching it and I was thinking about, like, the parents afterwards. I was like, your kid's got a big hit. Now you're going to get sequels. How are you going to deal with this kind of thing? And it's just like, now you don't put out the other one until 3-4 years later, and it's like, what happened, man? You could have, if you just captured it and even just put out the same movie, but a year after, I'm sure it would have banked again, probably, if it was just quicker out. Yeah. Could have been the same movie, but
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Something I just came up with. I oddly didn't look up the Bullies.
Yeah, Ice Cube is a little Ice Cube. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
What a couple years behind.
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice,
yeah.
Three Ninjas, and a few other things, of course. But once again, crushed in the 90s.
Doughboy.
Baby Doughboy is like, 10-year-old Doughboy is like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm good.
He really didn't do anything much after Poetic Justice. And what's happening? Did you do much into the main bully? The
white kid?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Me either. And let's do that real quick
sure.
while we have it. Because makes the appearance in Three Ninjas Kick Back. He's the opposing team's pitcher who is still...
Is he still